Sanjiv Bhasin joins us now. Bhasin Saab, good morning.
Good morning, Nikunj.
Nothing good about the morning when you see a global queue like this. तो केवल morning ही बोलते हैं जी, good morning ही बोलते हैं.
Correct. Fifth day of 5 days of fall, and the sixth day also looking bleak. But Nikunj, this is where perennial bottoms are made. This 18,900, 19,100. These are levels where you want to buy the index. I would say that we are very, very oversold. All bad news is more or less in the price. Results from most of the counters have been better than expected. But you will have to watch out for yields and the flow of money into, back into fixed income. All that gets into prices. I still think that India is set to outperform in this month. And it is just the impact of earnings, the feeling of missed out, which a large part of the foreign investors have who will be coming back. So keeping my optimistic view, I think next week onwards, we start to trend upwards.
What have you bought in this fall, Bhasin साहब? Monday, Tuesday तो छुट्टी थी, चलो अच्छा था. छुट्टी नहीं होती तो market और गिर जाता. Wednesday, Monday and Wednesday when the markets have fallen, which are the stocks you've bought?
Yeah, so as a disclosure for our clients, we have bought Reliance, we have bought Axis, we have bought ICICI Bank, we have bought some Geo, and we have bought IGL in this fall. We think a large part of the discounting of future growth of 2025, 2028, all that gets into the price. So these are some of the counters where we are aggressive. In the next 2 days, we will accumulate. We have advised clients to accumulate on the indices now. Bank Nifty and Nifty are giving very good entry points. They are more or less close to the bottom. I don't know, 100 points more can easily come because of the fear and the expiry today. But I think the index itself is very well poised. And we think that this month, index is going to outperform the mid caps and the small caps.
Vaishali, I'd like to draw your attention to banks. They were underperforming and they are outperforming this fall. So are we at that turn where banks may actually lead the recovery?
So I would go stock specific actually. HDFC Bank is on everyone's radar, and I don't see, it's coming towards double bottom at the most, I think 1480. So that would be one of the stocks. Axis Bank holding on, but I would say that a better level would be to buy and decline, because I'm still not convinced. Market shows a lot of fatigue, exhaustion right now. And I would still say that Bank Nifty needs to correct by 500 points from here on. So Axis Bank also at around 920, 930 would be an ideal level to get into. And the other banks, comparatively, I would look at Federal Bank still holding on well, not getting corrected in spite of all this choppiness. So that is one stock which comes on my mind, because the inherent strength is visible when market is really falling. And these are the stocks which I would really look at.
There is one stock which I'm going to ask everybody to comment on, and that is BSE. So ladies, please look at the charts. We don't track that on a daily basis. But Bhasin Saab, I'm going to put the chart of Bombay Stock Exchange. It is standing tall. It is standing tall, and that is yesterday's price action. But in this year, Bombay Stock Exchange, hello. Bombay Stock Exchange is up 2.2 times. What is happening there? NSE is the dominant exchange. NSE has more than 75% market share. BSE is just about made a comeback in the options market, but NSE is really the big, dada there. What has changed for BSE? Why the stock has made a comeback?
So firstly, Nikunj, the NSE is not listed, and if you wanted to play a listed exchange, you have the MCX on commodities and you have the BSE. Secondly, I think their aggression towards options and the derivative side on lower entry fees and so on has seen a good response. And thirdly, there is a flurry of primary market offerings which are in the offing, which will obviously have NSE and BSE both as a conduit. So I think there has been a value chain, and like I said, intermediaries, brokerages, exchanges, AMCs, insurance, these are very good conduits for the long term. You don't have to think more bigger than that, because the flow of retail flows on the SIP, on the cross-selling, on the AIF are very, very strong. And that is going to continue despite the market being high and low. That is what my call is. BSE has been a very, very big outperformer. But that's the reasoning I would give, that because of no other listed exchange on the equity side, that has gained in parlance on volumes and on the new products which they have launched.
Sony, what's your sense? Bombay Stock Exchange. It's a liquid.
Nikunj, technically, if we see, I feel that it is, obviously on a very good uptrend, and it has made its 52-week highs around 1828 odd levels. I think technically it is still poised to test 1900, 1950 plus levels before seeing any sort of profit booking taking place. There's still a lot of steam left immediate current levels to that rise. So we may not get that dips to enter, for a trading perspective. I think 1950 or so levels is the one place where we can have some profit booking, and the dip that we get from those levels would be an ideal level to re-enter, for a trading perspective. So I think that's how the entire structure of the chart formation is looking quite strong for these stocks.
Bhasin Saab, Tech Mahindra, right now the opinion is that Mohit will change things. It's a business where if the rate of change is even decent, the impact on the big picture would be a far bigger one. For Tech Mahindra, even though it's a tech Mahindra Group company, Bhasin Saab, their margins are low, their growth is low, and if things change at the top, could Tech Mahindra be the turnaround story of 2024?
Very possible, Nikunj, but numbers are flattered to deceive. In fact, HCL Tech, Persistent are two stocks which have outperformed. We own Tech Mahindra. We have been having confidence in the management and the change and the turnaround. And we know that these two seasonal quarters have been reasonably struggling for most people. But we like you think that they could be a turnaround on the management and the type of whatever I could hear on the type of growth outlook they have, the type of business opportunities which they are and they are searching for. It will take time for materializing, but those could be a big trigger. The stock is relatively one of the more inexpensive stocks if you took the large cap. And I think that any decline maybe today and tomorrow because of the results, little disappointment, should be a buying opportunity. But keep a vision of at least 1 year, because there will be this transition, the deal wins, all will take time to play out. However, I think that because of investing in people, in the projects, there will be most of the cash outflow may have been done with, and you could see margins actually accrete on the upside. So buy on decline would be a good strategy on Tech Mahindra. It's a blue chip to own.
Sanjiv, good to have you on board. Thanks as always for joining in and running us through a plethora of stocks that you believe investors should be buying and what your long-term outlook is.